Welcome to Chatting the Pictures. My name is Cara Finnegan, and I'm a writer, teacher, and historian of photography.
And I'm Michael Shaw. I'm a writer, a psychologist, and also publisher of Reading the Pictures.
As Liz Cheney looks ahead to life after Congress, the background of this image suggests that she's a force to be reckoned with.
Rachel Woolf took this photo for CNN. It shows conservative Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney speaking with a reporter during an interview in Laramie, Wyoming on Wednesday, August 3rd, 2022. The sit-down took place 2 weeks before Cheney was soundly defeated in her bid for re-election. She was excommunicated from the state party and the GOP national leadership for her position on the House January 6th committee investigating Donald Trump's role in the Capitol uprising and his attempts to overturn the presidential election. Cheney is now considering a presidential bid largely to prevent Trump from regaining the presidency.
Here, what I want to think about is what the visual environment around her tells us, because it's fascinating. I notice the contrast of flowers with animal heads. If you note at the left, when you look at what the camera's showing, you can see someone's kind of got her set up on a monitor, presumably a producer checking out, what the staging of the camera shot will look like. And there you see that she's framed more tightly so that really it's the vase of flowers in the background that's showing. Cheney's not gender neutral, but she's not really beyond those flowers. The stage is not really calling attention to her femininity really at all. And that's really on brand for her. I think to me what's actually distinctive about her in this frame is that she's chosen to wear white, which makes her stand out in the relatively masculine kind of dark setting of this room. It's also a bold choice, partly because white is not a preferred color to wear on television. She's a public figure, she would know that. But also, I think her message is a really black and white message. She is saying Trump is guilty, and I am not afraid to say that. I am not afraid to essentially tell the truth, to kind of be the white knight in this scenario.
Liz Cheney's really interesting. She's an arch conservative. She voted with Trump 93% of the time, as everyone likes to quote. She's also been a staunch neocon. But there is something about Cheney that is what you see is what you get. And she is really upset about where the MAGA forces are taking the party. I don't think she really cares about, how she looks or how she comes off. It's principled for her.
I have to mention the bear in the window because it's really anachronistic. What is that bear doing? Presumably it is stuffed. Why is it outside? Thinking about the metaphor of Trumpism and thinking about what Cheney has framed herself as up against. The presence of that bear invites us to think about Russia, Trump, and Putin, all the intertwined relationships that many of her Republican colleagues have with Russia, with the Trump impeachment and their refusal to vote for it. All of these things get weirdly, in a kind of uncanny fashion, raised for me simply by looking at that stuffed bear lurking in the window.
The makeover of the Republican Party really parallels the background of this photograph. This party now, these people are operating in the most primal way. They've turned American politics and democracy into a hunting ground. You don't have to look further than that guy, Jacob Chansley, the self-described QAnon shaman, who got so much attention for showing up in the Capitol in animal fur and horns and, really showing animalistic kind of behavior. Now, if you do want to be a little more frivolous about it or lighthearted, you could also say that the photograph is also a throwback and a painful reminder to 2006 when her father, who was then the vice president, shot another man in a hunting accident.
It's easy and I think worthwhile to think about all of the taxidermy in this room as connoting Western, Wyoming, active pursuits of people who live in rural areas. When I see the head of a buck or when I see a duck on the wall and all of these various things that somebody has shot and stuffed, I think about hunting in a kind of metaphorical way. There's a way to think about all of the stuff on the wall as a kind of analogy to what Cheney and the committee have been doing in putting together their case. They're hunting down witnesses. They are hunting down evidence. The animals also represent trophies. If you shot that, you stuff it, you put it on your wall, and you claim it. So there's also this kind of idea that whoever did that, right, with these animals finished what they started, and they're not shy about displaying their successes. It might be a stretch, but I think there's a way to extend that too, to the message that Cheney is trying to construct, both for herself and also for the work of this committee.